Hey guys, welcome to the Ask Faith Show. It's your girl Faith, and today I'm so excited to be here with you as always because I just wanted to discuss some things that I've been letting marinate in the press that's been released to you guys once again, and I'm here to just sift through it all and break it down, see what I have, share with you what I've observed. And I have a special guest that I'm excited to introduce today. I have my boy Aaron Dior in the house.
Hey, how you doing, y'all? This is Aaron Dior from Yall Crazy Podcast.
Yes, Yall Crazy. You can find him on every platform. Stream him. Tell them where they can find you.
Mostly on dbxnnetwork.com, and you can find it on Spotify as well as YouTube DBXN page as well.
All right, you heard that DBXN, and Yall Crazy is pretty awesome. I just guest featured on his upcoming podcast. That's going to be released in the newest episode.
Every Friday we do, a new video or podcast, you could call it, every Friday.
Okay, nice. So Yall Crazy, and check that out. It's my boy Aaron. So, I smoke and mirrors, guys. Smoke and mirrors, tons of them. And I'm gonna bring you guys more content. I'm gonna bring some funny stuff and get to a lot of suggestions. But smoke and mirrors is very important because it's important to me, and I've realized I've gotten a lot of feedback. A lot of you guys are very interested in this series because you are hearing what I'm hearing in the press, but a lot of people, just don't have the time to keep up with it all. And I've been making it my due diligence because I'm going to ride out as Nipsey asks us to. I'm going to stay diligent to the cause, and whatever we can do to help uncover anything useful, I'm happy to do that. So, I wanted to just play for you guys a clip that when I first saw this, when the world saw this, I don't know what ran through everyone's mind, but I had some thoughts and feelings. And it's just funny how life works because things come full circle. Things start making sense. The 2s plus 2s start making 4. So I'm going to play this for you guys. As you know, I come with my receipts. And I would love for you guys to let me know what you think of it. Well,
we bought the lot, man, but I don't know how we did it, And that was a big thing for bro, man, because he used to sell CDs out the trunk. He used to be in that parking lot, and they used to try to kick him out of the lot. And y'all know what we went through with the police in that lot. And I don't know if anybody knows, we had got a 30-day notice. And they was kicking us out of all the businesses that we own in the lot. And the owner was like, man, I'm so sorry. The district attorney and the police, they putting pressure on us. They said we could lose this property if we don't kick you guys out the lot. I remember this used to be a vacant lot, and people used to be scared to rent the lot. You guys came here, you changed it. People are pulling up. Every lot is rented. And at this point, if you guys still are interested in buying a lot, rather than kick you guys out, we're willing to sell it to you. So at this point, man, we was all broke. Nip had money invested everywhere, and we shook hands and said we do want to buy the lot. We didn't know how we was gonna do it, honestly. And Nip went on a scramble. I went on a scramble. Tapped in with JP, the whole team, and I honestly don't know how we did it, but we was able to close and get the lot, and Nip was so proud of that and so happy of that accomplishment. I don't drink, man, but I went ahead and took a shot with bro for that, man.
So some clip notes, if you wasn't able to get through the whole thing because it's quite sentimental, but basically Black Sam acknowledged the fact that him and his brother were under duress when it came to facing eviction for this property. And this is something that Nipsey was so smart and ingenious to figure out how they can acquire ownership of the property. And, Aaron, as a realtor and in this industry for quite some time, I wanted you to just shed some light because my opinion, I value it, and I know that, my subscribers and, people that are going to listen to this, they're going to listen to my opinion, but I also wanted them to hear from an expert point of view how important ownership in land is.
All right, ownership in land in America is very important because it also two things that happen, especially if you're black, then it's you stop gentrification in your neighborhood because you're keeping it black owned. Two, it also creates wealth. A lot of people do not understand how important wealth building is. Most of my clients are I work in New York City real estate, so most of my clients are majority Caucasian, white, and most of their wealth comes from generational wealth, real estate, grandparents, and things like that. And that's where the money is in real estate and having equity, because you can always take money out of your property and invest in yourself, invest in your family's business, invest in your education. So that's why home ownership is the key to success in all communities.
Thank you. Home ownership, underneath all is the land, so you definitely have a lot of value and emphasis placed on that. And if you didn't grow up knowing that, it's shocking to you when to see how it's valued in other cultures.
Absolutely, especially where Nipsey is coming from. I've heard rumors that the Southeast LA, it's becoming gentrified very extremely because it's valuable real estate. It's down near downtown LA. You're close to downtown where business is booming. So all the lands around that area is becoming gentrified. I think they're trying to bring the train station closer.
Yeah, there's a lot of a stadium and a train station.
Yeah, so there's having a prominent figure in your community who promotes entrepreneurship and
absolutely, and you're barking up the right tree there, and that's what I want to bring to the forefront for the people is that YouTube. I'm out here on these YouTube streets. I love how conscious our community is and how vocal we are, and sometimes too vocal because we get it wrong, we jump the gun on things that on the YouTube streets, which led to the Instagram streets. Mr. David Gross has been facing a lot of criticism. David Gross, in the words of Nipsey Hussle, was his bro and his business partner. David Gross has been in real estate and very connected to some wealthy people, including DJ Khaled. And he's been in the industry for years. So I wonder if him meeting Nipsey at that basketball Lakers game was by chance or by design. But nevertheless, he did meet Nipsey Hussle at a Lakers game, which became the conception of Vector 90. Nipsey Hussle wrote on his Instagram, "Meet David A. Gross, my bro and business partner. Vector 90 was a vision of his that brought me in on a random convo at the Laker game. To see something go from an idea to an actual tangible thing is something that will always be inspired." So Vector 90 is something that David Gross thought of, and that Nipsey Hussle was then brought on to, which was also in that plaza as the Marathon clothing store. And a lot of people felt they were going down the tangent, oh, David Gross is behind the conspiracy. He got Nipsey out of here. He didn't have Nipsey's name on the paperwork of any ownership. So he was, he was doing some slime snake stuff to Nip, and so this guy was receiving death threats because of a lot of things that were being uncovered on YouTube that hadn't, it's just crazy the power of the YouTube video, right? So this man was facing undue, I won't say undue, but I will just say he was facing, death threats are always undue. So yes, I'll stick with that. Undue death threats at the word of what other people were saying. And it comes to find out And I'm so glad I wait to do my videos. Because I could have been on that bandwagon here. I could have been on the bandwagon just over here thinking and believing that he had something to do with Nipsey's death. You know.
This is new information to me. I didn't even know that he's, if it's rumored to be, we're not sure because everything's rumored, right? About not being on paperwork on Victor 90.
Well, it's on some. It's not just a rumor. Let me pull up some. I'll just do a quick YouTube search and I'll show you some of the videos that are dedicated to outing him.
And these people here are reputable people.
That's what I'm saying. Not all are. So you just have all of these people believing he's a frenemy of Nipsey's.
Because of Victor 90.
Because of paperwork that they researched and found and felt that Nipsey's name should have been on it for the LLC that owns the land. So the Marathon clothing store is on. It's called Slauson and Crenshaw. I think it's called Slauson and Crenshaw Ventures. I'm gonna pull that up in just a second here. And Nipsey's name isn't on that paperwork, so people are saying, "Oh, he snaked him out of it." So this was all a bigger plan. So that's why people are coming for him, saying, So,
all right. So sometimes LLCs does not mean end all be all. I'm glad that a guy like me who knows real estate a bit understands that. Not all LLCs is also sometimes is to be private. It's not necessarily mean you have to be on the paperwork. It could be a contract or things like that. LLCs is mostly to protect, the people involved in the project and things like that. Like, for instance, a lot of landlords use LLCs on properties they own to protect them from getting sued directly. So that being said, because he's not on the LLC does not mean he's not have any ownerships in the on the property. You guys are probably looking at it as like it's a residential property but when it comes to commercial,
like a
property,
house on a name on a deed,
things like that. And you're probably just taking it, to the next level, where it's not the case at all. LLCs are a known practice in commercial real estate. So this is a commercial real estate property. Does not mean everybody should be, on the LLC.
Listed on it.
Yeah.
There can be other different titles that you can have within the LLC.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying. This is why I was like, when you was saying what you were talking about, I was like kind of confused. Like, how do you know this person is being snaked out? Like, you don't. LLC is meant to be in that way for a reason. If that's the case, it would be INC, or S4 corporation. It's purposely done this way for a reason to protect other people from being on the property. You remember, Nipsey is not a huge, friend to the LA society. The police department is always after him. Remember, he almost just got evicted also.
Exactly. So that brings me to my next point. Thank you so much for your intelligent segue. You know what? I'm going to need you on here a little bit more because I just love the balance that we have going on in synergy. This is my best friend, guys. But thanks for saying that, because the city of Los Angeles, city attorney Michael N. Fior, he sent a letter on February 13th, 2013 to Slauson and Crenshaw Ventures, LLC, attention David Gross, via UPS next day air. So he needed this to get there as soon as he wrote it. Mm-hmm. And the letter's subject is titled RE regarding 3420 West Slauson Avenue. Mm-hmm. And I'll put that up on the map for you guys in a moment.
Let me cut you off for a second. Sorry about that. When LLCs also have someone to the direct contact, it could be David Gross and not Nipsey for legal reasons. You never know.
Absolutely, but let me get to the crux of this. Let me finish. So it's regarding 3420 West Slauson Avenue, Los Angeles, California, 943. And it says, Dear Mr. Gross, the Safe Neighborhoods and Gang Division of the Los Angeles City's Attorney's Office includes the citywide nuisance abatement program, hereinafter CNAP. Prosecutors assigned to CNAP work with law enforcement to address nuisance gang and narcotics properties in the city of Los Angeles. Let's just break that down. The Safe Neighborhoods and Gang Division of the LAPD, they have its own subdivision called the Nuisance Abatement Program. So the Gang Division has a nuisance division to get rid of properties and gangs that are a nuisance to the city of Los Angeles.
Which makes sense. Why would he want Nipsey on paperwork?
Exactly. So attention, Mr. David Gross. We understand that Slauson and Crenshaw Ventures, LLC, acquired the property located at 3420 West Slauson Avenue on January 17th, 2019. As Black Sam just said in the speech at his brother's funeral. Now, before I even continue, when I pass away, you're going to talk about the most crucial things that ever happened to me in my life. The fact that Black Sam decided to talk about this at his brother's funeral, you can't help but wonder if this has something to do with Nipsey's death. Let me continue. As you may already be aware, the Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD, has identified the property as having illegal gang activity associated with it. More specifically, the property is known as a hangout for the Rolling 60s criminal street gang and has been the site of many violent and or unlawful incidents, including, without limitation, attempted murder, shootings, robberies, batteries, and unlawful firearm possession. CNAP personnel would like to meet with SCV, Slauson Crenshaw Ventures, LLC, to discuss the public nuisance at the property. California Civil Code, Section 3479, defines a nuisance as anything which is injurious to health or is indecent, offensive to the senses, or an obstruction to the free use of property so as to interfere with the comfortable enjoyment of life or property.
Question. When was this released again, this paperwork?
February 13th.
What year?
2019.
Oh, so this is very recent.
This is very recent.
Okay. I don't see an issue with this letter or the issue with the matter of the property. It's known for gang activity.
Hold on. Allow me to build my timeline here. That's February 13th. He wrote that to David Gross, which is someone a part of, he wrote it to Slauson and Crenshaw Ventures, which you just admitted Nipsey very well may have been a part of, as Nipsey said he was a part of, and he doesn't have to be listed. So this is also a letter to Nipsey.
True.
Nipsey wrote a letter, an email to the LAPD on February 26, 2019. The contents of this letter is as such.
Through my emails yesterday, and I found the original email requesting from Nipsey and Rock Nation, requesting to me to set up a meeting with the chief and I'm going to read it to you. This was dated February 26th. Our goal is to work with the department to help improve communication, relationships, and work towards changing the culture and dialogue between LAPD and the inner city. We want to hear about your new programs and your goals for the department, as well as how we can help stop gang violence and help you help kids. So it takes time to set up meetings. We did. It was set up for yesterday. And the chief called me on Sunday and told me, this was 15 minutes after, that Nipsey Hussle had been assassinated, been murdered. This horrible thing happened one day before we were going to have this meeting. Why couldn't we have had the meeting the day before instead of the day after? So the meeting will happen. It will happen when Rock Nation and Nipsey's family will come together. And I promise you, whether from the upper levels of this or from the bottom level of this.
You heard that from the police commissioner's mouth. Some of the words that he mentioned was interesting. This is the contents of an email that Nipsey wrote to the LAPD police commissioner. We want to know what your goals and plans are. That's kind of an assertive stance to take when just a week and a half prior to that, the CNAP personnel wanted to meet with S. Slauson and Crenshaw Ventures to discuss you guys being a public nuisance. How does the public nuisance end up demanding, wanting to know what the LAPD's goals are and wanting to, to me, it sounds like he read a portion of the email and that that email may have been Nipsey's response to them actually calling for the meeting. They asked to meet with them on February 13th. Nipsey didn't just ask to meet with you guys on his own unless David Gross didn't tell him, but I can't imagine David Gross not communicating with his business partner that the DA's office has a problem with him. And you know it was communicated to Nipsey because Black Sam mentioned it at Nipsey's funeral, which means it was a pretty big deal. Which brings me to my next point. All of a sudden, in less than 24 hours, the murderer, the person who was quote-unquote assassinated Nipsey Hussle, he's identified as Eric Holder. I did my research. I'm pretty sure you guys did too. I can't find nothing on Eric Holder prior to the shooting. It was a stretch for me to find out he was 29 years old. That picture that they keep sending around looked like a 46-year-old OG. They sending us a picture. They saying he's 29 years old. How old does Eric Holder look to you?
It's hard. I've seen so many different pictures of him lately, so I don't know. Mid-30s.
At least the 30s. This picture here made him look like he had a hard life if he's 29. This brother here is 29 to you?
He actually is older, yeah, about 33, 34, maybe the same age as Nipsey. You know, I don't know.
They say that this picture here isn't even this guy. They say ain't no way that this guy is that guy.
Unless he's on some ton of drugs. I don't know. This is just really interesting.
So, if this is, as a 29-year-old, we all have a past on social media. I can't find nothing. You have to pay to find, I guess, even which high school he went to. I had to find to sleuth to find how old he was. He virtually came out of nowhere. I'm not saying, what I was looking for was his release date. I wanted to know, when did Eric Holder, Shitty Cuz, get released from jail? I want to know, I want to find some type of evidence that can corroborate this whole he's a snitch beef thing. Because when did he even get out of jail? They say he's from Long Beach, which I hear is far from that part of town, Slauson and Crenshaw. So it's like, what was he doing over there? They're saying. It's just like all this animosity. They said that he had 4 social media accounts, one which was created 2 days prior to the shooting, and he labeled himself as a musician / band on Instagram. And just for me, it's just very odd that none of us knew who he was before this situation. We can't find nothing about him after the situation, at least nothing that's consistent. But yet Meek Mills was able to DM him and tell him to give himself up before anyone even knew that this was the suspect.
Mm.
How the hell did Meek Mills know who the fuck to DM? Excuse my language. How did Meek Mills know who to reach out to?
That's a good question. I didn't even know that.
A lot of people didn't know, I guess. So let me just pull it up. I have to pull up the receipts for everything because this is their DMs right here. He says to him, I don't know you, but you in the middle of some BS as a man with a black face. I'm not going to put it on you, but you need to come out and say something immediately, fam. This is some next level ish. Do you understand what's going on? Why they got your name in the middle of this ish? As someone out the streets, I'm not going to show nobody this. Why is Meek Mill saying that he's not going to show nobody him DMing the suspect that probably killed Meek Mills?
Is that 100%
I mean, that
real?
Nipsey Hussle. I saw this for myself. Yes, Meek Mill did DM Shitty Cuz.
And that Shitty Cuz real musician page, things like that. But he says only 2
But the thing is, that's really Meek Mill's account. So whether he really DM Shitty Cuz or not, why are you DMing anybody about this?
Like this shit won't hit the internet about it. I don't know.
It's just so many Wait, I'm not even done. Because what I'm going with this is the only people we're getting the narrative from that Nipsey wanted to meet with the LAPD is from the LAPD. They're the only ones saying that Nipsey wanted to meet with them. Roc Nation did come out and say it. They came out and said it. It's just interesting to me that Meek Mills is also with Roc Nation. It's also very interesting to me that he was also in communication with Eric Holder. It's also very interesting to me that the LAPD was investigating this man and trying to make it seem to the greater public as if he was a community role model in their eyes as well.
I believe he was assassinated. And we heard the press conference. He slipped up and said that, you know, you don't say those words unless you feel that way. And we just assassinated murder. Like, there's plenty of times and plenty of other press conferences from other murders around the country, and the true thoughts always come out first, and then you gotta cover up your lies. It's ridiculous. I really think that he was taken out. I'm not sure who's the parties around that make sure that happened.
I don't know either. I look up assassinate, and the definition of assassinate is murder. To murder an important person in a surprise attack for political or religious reasons. So for the police commissioner to come out and say assassinate, it wasn't just done for no reason. It was done for a political or religious reason. Political or religious reason. I echo, political or religious reason. What did Jay-Z say? Politicking as usual. This is politics as usual, bro. To murder or attack for a political or religious reason. Should he cause, quote unquote, killing Nipsey because of jealousy and hate, in the words of Cowboy, because he wanted to be a rapper the way that Nipsey was successful in the rap industry, does not equal political or religious reason.
Mm-hmm. Sure it isn't.
I've been saying since day one to people who know me, I feel like Eric Holder is nothing more, nothing less than a patsy. Why would he just say that he was offered $75,000 to kill somebody if he wasn't a patsy? He has no dog in this fight. Him killing Nipsey wasn't going to make him no better of a rapper. To assassinate someone is to murder them, and they must be important in a surprise attack for political or religious reasons. It has to be a surprise. They couldn't be expecting it. What are your thoughts? You have any questions?
This is more new information for me. I'm the only thoughts I have is just like it's very interesting about the business side. Like I will have to see the full paperwork and like look at it in a sense, like because it's supposed to be connected to some more paperwork. But like I said before, it's a LLC, so it's supposed to be made in secret in the first place. And I think a lot of people in the YouTube world don't understand that because they don't understand legal formations of businesses. So that's probably why they jumped the gun quickly, you know. So it's definitely something I would like to learn more about. And this Eric Holder guy, I always thought he was a patsy as well. But my thing is that seeing the video of how the murder went down, it seemed somewhat personal a bit. And at the same time, it just looked weird, like, you know, kicking somebody in the head after you shoot them several times. That seems really, really personal in a bit, and I just wanted to know why.
I think that's someone assigning feelings to it. I'm not even sure if he really kicked him in the head. I watched that video a million times despite my inner voice, me not wanting to watch it, but I had to watch it. And it was insane to me. To just watch how everything did happen. I don't know. I'm honestly, I'm taken aback. I have to pause this. Yes, you're right. He did. He must have kicked him in his head or something. We went back and watched the video, but one thing's for sure is that you won't see this a lot. The LA Times, I have to credit them for being one of the only ones to account for Samuel being there to see his brother's last breaths, which corroborates what Grandma said on the news clip. Because I'm gonna tell you straight up, I watched a lot of film of what happened on the news scene, and I didn't see Sam. I didn't see Black Sam at all. I didn't see the mom. I didn't see that scene that the mom described at the BET Awards, saying that somebody was still mad and she had to calm them down and the lady with big breasts is running. I didn't see no family. This LA Times article describes Samuel racing down the street and, taking directions of CPR and being there when the tubes was put in and he was carried away. And I even saw when he was carried into the ambulance and the blood that they described in this article, I didn't see. And it's just, to me, I'm going to say it like this. I will never say that what we see is all that happened. And that there is the smoke and mirrors. Is that you keep seeing all this footage and you think you're seeing it all. But you can't tell this man he didn't see his brother's last breath. I don't believe a grandmother could lie like that. That's, you know what I'm saying? It's all really coming together, the smoke and the mirrors here. What are some of your thoughts on the things that's not making sense to you as someone who hasn't been following everything, but now that you're seeing some of the evidence, I'm just pulling these receipts out. What do you think?
The smoke and mirrors of Eric Holder. I think that's the big token of what's going on. Like, we need to know who's this guy. We need to know who's he affiliated with. I know I've seen a couple of interviews with DJ Valley, whatever his name is, and he was talking to a couple of West Coast guys that know this person. It's just a whole lot of information, and nothing is just. No one knows, and in the court cases going on right now, there's no one that is allowed in. The public is not allowed in, which would be so important to a court case like this. I mean, I think the world would like to know, like, who is this guy and why would he do such a heinous act like this?
Absolutely. I don't think everything is going to be meant for public consumption because assassinations usually aren't. It's something that our grandparents and our parents will never know for sure what happened to John F. Kennedy. But you have people that will make documentaries until the end of time because those people meant something to somebody and to a lot of people in mass. And when things don't make sense, but they add up and they point in different directions, you can't help but look. You just can't help but look.
Yeah, like I just found out that Martin Luther King Jr. survived the gunshot to the head. He was killed at the hospital. He was suffocated with a pillow. So you never know what's the full story with everything, you know?
Wow.
Nipsey Hussle could have survived that shooting and, probably was killed on the way to the hospital. We don't know the full story of what's going on and why.
Martin Luther King was suffocated at the hospital?
Yup.
Y'all, I'm looking that up right now.
Yeah.
What?
Like you said, we talking about patsies right now.
James,
like the person who was, one of the nurses on her deathbed said it, and the mob boss the mob boss doctor, one of the mob boss brother or something like that, affiliate family. Because
it's all over.
Yeah, it was a case in 1999. They found the U.S. government guilty of killing Martin Luther King. Well, shooting Martin Luther King, we should say, because it was a police officer who actually shot Martin Luther King, but Martin Luther King survived the shooting, and they were operating on him, and the doctor, the head surgeon there, decided to kick everyone out the room. They said they saw a couple of people spit on Martin Luther King, and then she saw the doctor suffocate Martin Luther King.
That's so plausible. I don't understand. If black people are dying at unreasonable, unproportional rates today because of how they're treated in hospitals, I don't see why they would ever save a revolutionary black man in the 60s. And I'm reading here, it says you have Dr. Breen Bland entering the emergency room Stop working on a nigga and let him die. Not all of you get out of here right now. Everybody get out. Someone else said, Rod Adkins, whose father, Russell Adkins Sr., was a local Dixie Mafia gangster. That's who you talking about?
Yeah.
Ron told Pepper he overheard Bland, who was his family's doctor, tell the father if King did survive the shooting, he had to be taken to St. Joseph's and nowhere else. He remembers Bland saying to his father, if he's not killed by the shot, just make sure he gets to St. Joseph Hospital and we'll make sure he doesn't leave. So is this the same thing you heard?
Yeah. This is all from the case in 1999. Like I said before, like patsies is nothing new. The JFK was a patsy.
Oh, wait, hold on. For people who don't understand what patsy is and what it means, because we just keep saying it, patsy is a person who's easily taken advantage of, especially by being cheated or blamed for something. So we're not saying that these individuals didn't perform the acts. We're saying they were easily taken advantage of to perform acts. Who is the orchestrator of these such acts? We don't know. We don't really want to put it out there because we value our lives, right? Right. But just do some thinking. I'm gonna end it. This is the longest episode I ever had, I think. But I thank y'all for joining me. Drop your thoughts below. Holla at us. It's the Faith Show.